Christmas. Jaza. Kwa sababu, there's a whooping 1 million bob to be won. All you have to do ni kupiga shopping worth 1,500 and above. Na uko ndani ya draw. Krisi, ibambe na Quickmart. Quickmart, fresh and easy.
Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds.
Maxi!
Pinky?
No, excuse me, I could downgrade. I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm his girlfriend.
Hey.
Rhyme, umesikia? Mimi nafanya hizi vitu zote kwa sababu nakupenda.
Good morning. In the afternoon.
Hizi pombe zako umekunywa, eh?
Kuna pombe yako nimekunywa. Listen to me carefully. Wachana na sera.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Is it the beauty, the comfort, the security, the convenience, or even the affordability? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. Call us today on 0790 300 300.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more. Like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Enjoy the magic of Christmas with Coca-Cola.
Kila siku unapokaza mshipi, unapozidi bidii, unapoongeza maarifa ya kuimarisha maisha, unapoongeza nguvu ya kukusongeza mbele, unaposherehekea na kuwakaribisha wengine kufurahia nawe, unapojijenga kibiashara na kuonyesha penzi lako, unga unaozaidisha uko papo hapo, kuzaidisha utamu wa maisha kwa kila namna, kila mara. Familia ya Ajab imeongezeka ili uzidishe mapishi. Mambo ni Ajab.
Every day, you hear news reports about the violence that children face.
We face sexual violence that tears our lives apart. We are beaten in our homes while we're supposed to be safe and even in school. We are insulted and berated.
If you see me being sexually abused, stop it.
If you see me being beaten, stop it.
If you see me being hit, stop it.
If you see me being bullied, stop it.
The violence against us will not end until you stop it. And the stories will remain the same until you change them.
Any form of violence against children is wrong. Report cases of abuse to a trusted adult, children's officers, the police, or call the Child Helpline 116. Spot it and stop it.
Looking really good.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
Ukikwama, utaambia nini watu?
Waambie bra. When I gotta go, I gotta go. Ay, sweetheart. Kwani lori imekata break?
Bruh, when you gotta go with Neptune.
Neptune, toilet paper for wherever you are.
Maxi!
Pinky?
No, excuse me, umeamua downgrade. I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm his girlfriend.
Hey.
Rhyme, umesikia? Mimi nafanya hizi vitu zote kwa sababu nakupenda.
Good morning. In the afternoon.
Hizi pombe zako umekunywa, eh?
Kuna pombe yako imekunywa. Listen to me carefully. Wachana na sera.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Is it the beauty, the comfort, the security, the convenience, or even the affordability? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. Call us today on 0790 300 300.
Maji mdosi wangu ametupa simu yangu ndani ya maji.
Mdosi wako kwa sawa.
Venye Nkirota ameniambia ajui na akimpigia simu ashiki. Hi, guy, what
For the women who deserve more, Moped is now in Kenya and more than 40 countries. With its nylon-free surface, new Moped has unique softness and up to 100% protection. Your skin will love it.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more. Like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Enjoy the magic of Christmas with Coca-Cola.
From far with you. I even gifted you a magnificent house. It's the thought that counts. Please help me.
When it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Panadol Baby and Infant, tough on fever, gentle on your child.
Do your gums hurt? Yeah. Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile? All that in one toothpaste? Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums. Ah, Colgate Herbal. Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
By the way, Carl, Mother will be visiting us this weekend.
Believe me, I'm counting the minutes. Eureka!
Red Bull gives you wings.
This is NTV.
Bila shaka ni saa 1 kamili saa za Afrika Mashariki. Hujambo popote ulipo mtazamaji na karibu kwa taarifa za utendeti upendayo ya NTV jioni. Siku ya Jumanne ikiwa ni mwezi Disemba mwaka 2020. Tayari mwaka unakamilika. Mtazamaji, kama kawaida, kama dawa, tumekuandalia mengi na mengine katika meza ya NTV jioni, lakini kwanza tupate vidokezo.
Yajayo kwenye NTV jioni.
The relevant officers are informed and I'm sure they'll respond appropriately.
Wanafunzi wa shule ya wasichana ya Lugulu waandamana kulalamikia wanachodai ni visa vya ubakaji shuleni.
Do not make insensitive remarks against frontline workers who are risking their lives to save Kenyans and to save this country.
Madaktari wanailaumu serikali kwa kile wanachodai ni kutumia propaganda ili kuficha masaibu yao.
Hiyo area iongeze bumps zingine ili mtu akifika kwa hiyo kona awe hayuko kwa speed ya juu zaidi.
Watu 3 wapoteza maisha kwenye ajali ya barabarani iliyohusisha lori na pikipiki nje kidogo ya mji wa Garissa.
Mwanaume wa Kenya ambaye hawezi amuka na kustruggle anapitia hali ngumu sana.
Na leo kwenye makala ya Jesho Langu tunamwangazia Hassan Mkombe anayechimba makaburi na kuosha maiti ili kujipatia riziki.
Mbashara kutoka jumba la Nation. Hii ni NTV Jioni na Kaltun Jama.
Bila shaka mtazamaji, popote ulipo, na karibu kwa taarifa za utendeti za NTV Jioni. Mkalimani wetu wa lugha ya ishara jioni hii ni Flora Atieno. Wanafunzi wa shule upili ya Lugulu waliandamana hii leo wakilalamikia kile wanachodai ni kuongezeka kwa visa vya ubakaji shuleni. Hii ni baada ya madai kuwa mmoja wao alibakwa Jumamosi asubuhi. Wanafunzi hao waliandamana hadi katika kituo cha polisi cha Webuye wakitaka mshukiwa kukamatwa, na sasa wametaka mwalimu mkuu kuhakikisha usalama wa shuleni. Jioni Somolo na taarifa kamili.
Masomo yalisitishwa kwa muda katika shule ya upili ya wasichana ya Lugulu. Wanafunzi walipoandamana wakifululiza hadi kituo cha polisi wakitaka haki ya mmoja wao wanadai alibakwa alfajiri ya Jumamosi bafuni kwa shule hiyo. Adha wamelalamikia kudhulumiwa mara kwa mara na walimu wa kiume na wafanyikazi wengine shuleni humo, hasa wakati huu ambapo wako wachache shuleni kutokana na janga la corona.
We came to school to read. We did not come here to be molested. Wanatuharas, walimu baba wanatukatia.
Mkuu wa polisi Bungoma Mashariki Valeria Nobore aliwarai wanafunzi hao kuwa na subra na kuhakikishia kwamba uchunguzi umeanzishwa.
So the DCI team is already assembled, and while we are waiting for the buses to come,
we want to assure you that the relevant officers are informed and I'm sure they'll respond appropriately. And we'll ask for patience because decisions cannot be made in one day.
Anayedaiwa kutekeleza uhalifu huo hajulikani, kwani inadaiwa alitoweka baada ya tukio. Jioni Somolo, NTV.
Mgomo wa hudumu wa afya unaendelea huku Wakenya wanaotarajia huduma zao muhimu hospitalini wakizidi kuhangaika. NTV imezuru kaunti kadhaa nchini kutathmini hali halisi ya afya, huku wahudumu hao wakiandaa kikao cha kuomboleza waliofariki na wakisitiza kwamba mtazamaji, katu hawatetereki hadi pale matakwa yao yatakaposhughulikiwa. Leila Mohamed na taarifa kamili.
Wahudumu wa afya waliwasha mishumaa ya kuomboleza wenzao waliofariki. Wengi wao walijawa na machungu ambayo wanadai inatokana na mahangaiko ya kufanya kazi katika mazingira ambayo wanadai ni duni.
So sad that we are called frontline soldiers, but we are not cared for. And that is why, as we gather today, all the clinical officers, the nurses and other health workers are out to cry for themselves because we don't have anybody to care, to cry for us in those parliaments.
Hamaki yao kulingana na naibu katibu mkuu ni kwamba hawahisi kuwa serikali kuu au hata zile za kaunti zinawatambua kama watu muhimu katika utoaji wa huduma za afya hospitalini.
Yes, we sacrificed that time. Today, we have said enough is enough. Let the people who have been favored by the government go and serve the patients. Let them work for the risk allowance. Let them take the risk today as we sit back.
Huku serikali ikiwarai kurejea kazini na kupa nafasi mazungumzo ya kutafuta suluhu, hali katika baadhi ya hospitali ilikuwa kama hivi. Sami Munyao anaugua saratani na alitarajiwa kupata huduma katika kituo maalum cha saratani huko Makueni, ila alirejea nyumbani baada ya kukosa wahudumu wa kumfaa.
Mimi ninaraumu serikali yetu ya Kenya. Kwa sababu daktari ana makosa, anaitisha haki yake. Ninaomba serikali ilipe madaktari ili madaktari waweze kuamka, tuache kuumia.
Katika kaunti ya Mombasa, mzee huyo anafurahia kupata matibabu kwa mwanawe, ila anasema alipofika hapa hapo jana hali ilikuwa tofauti.
Mtoto wangu kidogo amefungwa, ninashukuru kwa Mwenyezi Mungu, lakini hapa Makadara jana sikupata matibabu kabisa.
Serikali ya Mombasa haijawezi kuwa ikilipa mishahara kwa wakati ufaao. Jambo la pili ni kwamba zile hela ambazo zinakatwa kwa mishahara zetu hawajakuwa wakizilipa kwa loans.
Katika kaunti ya Busia, wanaouguza jamaa zao wamelalamikia hali ya kugharamia kila kitu. Katika kaunti ya Kakamega na Bungoma, hali ilikuwa ni ile ile, huku wakuu wa vyama vya wauguzi na wahudumu wa afya walifika hospitalini kuthibitisha ikiwa mgomo unaendelea.
Tuko hapa leo kwa sababu ya kusisitiza ya kwamba mgomo ambao tulisema unaanza leo umeshaanza.
Leila Mohamed, NTV.
Na mtazamaji, tukisalia masala ya mfungamana na hudumu humu nchini, ni kuwa vuta ni kuvuta inaendelea kati ya serikali na madaktari nchini, wakidai kuwa serikali inatumia propaganda mtandaoni ili kuficha masaibu yao. Serikali imekiri kwamba hali madaktari ni mbaya na kuahidi kushughulikia maslahi yao. Helen Aura na taarifa kamili.
Kifo cha Daktari Stephen Mogusu kimeendelea kuwa kala moto kwa serikali, huku madaktari wakidai kwamba serikali inatumia propaganda kwenye mitandao ya kijamii ili kuficha masaibu yao, madai ambayo Wizara ya Afya inakanusha vikali, ingawa inakiri hali si shwari katika sekta ya afya.
They had to fundraise as a class for 200,000 deposit to the ICU. As we speak, there is a bill that is yet to be paid.
So we're in discussions to ensure that the family is able to get the aid that they require, but additionally that we're able to ensure that this is not a situation that recurs amongst other healthcare workers.
Kufikia sasa madaktari 13 na wahudumu wa afya 42 wamepoteza maisha yao kutokana na janga la COVID-19. Huku wahudumu wa afya zaidi ya 2,000 wakiwa wameambukizwa na virusi vya COVID-19.
During our 1-year internship, it was not a walk in the park. It was those near misses where you get infected with COVID, you come back, you continue, no one is bothered, no one cares.
Kwa upande wake, serikali imesema kuwa bado inaendelea na majadiliano, huku ikiwasihi maafisa wa kliniki na manesi kurejea kazini.
The Ministry of Health will endeavor to ensure that all healthcare workers employed under the Universal Healthcare Program and those on short-term contracts are paid their dues in good time.
Madaktari wanasema kuwa serikali imewatelekeza, huku wakilazimika kujigharamia matibabu yao, haswa wanapoambukizwa virusi vya COVID-19. Na ujumbe wao kwa wanasiasa:
We like to caution the political leadership of this country. Do not make insensitive remarks against frontline workers who are risking their lives to save Kenyans and to save this country.
Helen Aura, NTV.
Watu 3 waliokuwa wakisafiri kwa bodaboda wamepoteza maisha kwenye ajali iliyotokea katika barabara kuu ya Garissa. Kulingana na mashuhuda ni kwamba bodaboda ilikuwa ikijaribu kulipita gari dogo na kuisha kugongwa na basi lilokuwa likielekea upande tofauti. Abiria 2 na mwendeshaji bodaboda walipoteza maisha papo hapo. Wakazi aidha wameeleza hofu yao kutokana na ongezeko la ajali katika barabara hiyo, ambayo wanasema inachangiwa na kutokuwa na matuta kudhibiti mwendo wa madereva na kutokuwa uangalifu zaidi. Miili ya waliofariki imepelekwa katika hifadhi ya maiti hospitali ya Garissa.
barabara hiyo na specifically hapo pahali pa hiyo kona tumeweza kupoteza watu. Na ni asubuhi leo imetendeka ajali mbili pale. Moja imetendeka kwa mtu ambaye alikuwa anapeleka makaa yake. Ajali ilitendeka pale pale na baada ya muda mchache, baada ya dakika lisali moja ndio hii ajali imetokea na tukapoteza watu watatu. Hivyo sasa ningependa serikali iweze kuweka bumps kuanzia pale Hatata. Kuna bumps kingine kidogo ambapo hata mtu wa gari kikuja ana overspeed.
Mtazamaji, dakika zimekatika 13 baada ya saa 1 kamili saa za Afrika Mashariki. Ni wakati wa kupumzika katika awamu ya kwanza ya NTV Jioni. Mengi zaidi tutakaporejea, usiondoke.
Malkia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku. Pata offers zote mahali pamoja ili uongeze zaidi, utume SMS zaidi na ubrowse zaidi.
Wewe usijali, tuma namba ya kila supplier kwa hiyo soko. Enda job nitaongea na kila mmoja wao. Mwaka sasa. Unajua leo ndio siku yangu ya kutafutia hii mmea yangu bei nzuri sokoni. Na kuna mtu nimepewa namba yake nimpigie nimuelezee pole pole. Ndio unajua na mama wengi sana huko sokoni. Ni ofa gani mzuri leo?
Very good. Piga *444 hash. Utunukiwe. Credo double.
Sio kwangu, rudi.
Puka giza sasa na mshumaa wa Sumo. Mshumaa wa Sumo umetengenezwa kwa bidhaa bora zaidi na unakufaa wakati wote. Kila mara unapowaza kuhusu mwangaza katika nyumba yako, waza mshumaa wa Sumo. Unachomeka polepole bila kumwagika na hauishi haraka, hauna moshi wala harufu. Jipatie mshumaa wa Sumo katika duka lililo karibu nawe kwa bei nafuu. Kwa maelezo zaidi, tembelea afisi zetu katika barabara ya Ndume Road, mkabala na Lungalunga Road, nyuma ya Kaltun Manufacturer, karibu na stage ya matatu ya Sinai. Unaweza pia wasiliana nasi kupitia 0722575619 au 0736028181. Ni mshumaa wa Sumo Kando kutoka Rock Industries Limited.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more. Like serving up your best, eating together and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys.
Enjoy the magic of Christmas with Coca-Cola. When they flip and roll and start to crawl away, tape diapers can be hard to put on. Then it's time for all-round fit Pampers pants. Easy to pull on even when they're moving around for a great fit and up to 12 hours of dryness. And easy to remove. Just tear the sides, lift away, roll up the pants and you're all done. Now available in size 6. Pampers, love, sleep and play.
Man, you got to have game. When it's all sweat, pressure and anxiety, yet that's just halftime. Stay cool and in the game with Imperial Leather for Men range. Wear luxury. A little luxury goes a long way.
This Christmas, Anana's Mall Thika invites all to discover Thika. Bambika Thika Kikwetu. Lots of mbusis to be gifted at the newly opened Naivas supermarket in the mall. Happy hours starting 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at our Choma zone every Sunday up to 27th December 2020. A free glass of wine for every kg Choma. Terms and conditions apply. Real Christmas, real fun. See you there. Anana's Mall Thika, Shoppers Paradise.
Lakewood Emerald School, Kitengela. Lakewood Emerald School, Kitengela is a leading day and boarding learning institution located in the outskirts of Kitengela town. We offer high-quality education services that are globally competitive. Our vision is to be the global leader in the provision of quality, affordable, and holistic education. It is a sister school to Lakewood School, Komarok, and Lakewood Premier Utawala.
All day, we expect our mouth to do all kinds of things.
That is why it needs all-round protection. New Oral-B Pro Health toothpaste. Its advanced technology helps prevent both tooth holes and gum problems that can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your teeth, giving them all-round protection. Because your mouth is doing more than you think. New Oral-B Pro Health. All-round protection for your whole mouth.
Maxi! Maxi!
Pinky?
No, no, excuse me, downgrade. I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm his girlfriend.
Hey!
Rhyme, umesikia? Mimi nafanya hizi vitu zote kwa sababu nakupenda.
Good morning. In the afternoon.
Hizi pombe zako umekunywa, eh?
Kuna pombe yako nimekunywa. Listen to me carefully. Wachana na sera.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Is it the beauty, the comfort, the security, the convenience, or even the affordability? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. Call us today on 0790 300 300.
Karibu tena mtazamaji katika awamu ya pili ya NTV Jioni. Wenyewe husema kazi ni kazi, alimradi mkono uende kinywani. Kauli inafika maisha Hassan Mkombe ambaye kwa miaka mingi amekuwa akijichumia riziki kwa kushona viatu mjini Bungoma. Bali na hao mtazamaji, Hassan pia anajihusisha na kuosha maiti na kuchimba makaburi kama njia mbadala ya kujichumia. Leo Hassan ndiye anayetupambia makala yetu ya kila siku ya Jumanne ya Jasho Langu.
Kwa takriban miongo mitatu sasa, hii ndio imekuwa ofisi ya Hassan Mkombe, mkazi wa Mandizini, viungani mwa mji wa Bungoma.
Mimi ukodeshwa katika harakati za kwenda kuwasaidia watu kuchimbia makaburi, wananilipa. Mbali na hii kazi, hapa ndio ofisi yangu. Kwa hiyo shughuli yote mupatikana hapa 1992 kianza hii kazi ya viatu mpaka hivi sasa. Na nikianza hii kazi, by the way, mwaka huu nilikuwa nangarisha na viatu kwa shilingi 15. Wakati hiyo tukianza kazi ya viatu mwaka 92 ilikuwa shilingi 15. Mpaka sasa ni shilingi 40 sasa hivi kwa pea moja.
Hassan anajivunia kazi yake ambayo anasema imemwezesha kununua kipande cha ardhi mjini Bungoma, mbali na kumwezesha kuwalipia karo wanao ambao kwa sasa ni wanafunzi katika vyuo vikuu.
Lakini mimi hii kazi imenisaidia kwa sababu ushuhuda na ushahidi ninao. Nimenunua ardhi kwa hii kazi, nimelipa mahari kwa hii kazi, mtoto wangu amesoma kwa hii kazi mpaka amaliza kidato cha 4 kwa hii kazi.
Baada ya muda, fedha alizopata kutokana na kushona viatu hazikuweza kukidhi mahitaji yake ya kila siku, na ndipo miaka 4 iliyopita akaamua kutafuta kazi mbadala kujichumia fedha zaidi.
Tafadhali.
Ndiposa akaanza kazi ya kuosha maiti na kuchimba makaburi. Japo kitamaduni ni mwiko kuionea fahari kazi hii, Hassan anasema mapato yake ni ya kuridhisha mno.
Watu uniita kwenda kuwaoshea mili yao, mili ya wapendwa wao. Nimeenda mochari hapa, nikitrain hapa na huyo rafiki yangu Brian, tunajulikana huko. Mbali na hii kazi ya viatu, nisipopatikana hapa maasubuhi kama kwa mtu amefariki, huwa nimeenda huko. Maskini wa Kenya, sawa mwanaume wa Kenya ambaye hawezi amuka na kustruggle, anapitia hali ngumu sana. Kama si mtu wa kujituma, anapitia hali ngumu sana. Hata mimi mwenyewe nafanya hii kazi ya viatu, mbali na kuchimbia watu makaburi, lakini nasikitikia watu ambao wajitumi.
Anawashauri vijana kuungana kuanzisha miradi ya kujiendeleza kimaisha badala ya kutegemea fedha kutoka kwa wanasiasa.
Kama maisha usiwe na aibu. Weka aibu kando, bora ni kazi ya halali. Mwenyezi Mungu atakujalia.
Zakis Masame, NTV, Bungoma.
Bila shaka mtazamaji, 21 tena zimekatika baada ya saa 1 baada ya makala yetu ya kila Jumanne ya Jasho Langu. Faru kutoka Isli anasema mashallah, jambo la kufurahisha kweli. Anasema mchagua jembe sio mkulima. Tunaenda mapumziko, tutakaporejea mwanaspoti Yosho Makori atakuwa anatuambia yanayojiri viwanjani.
Malkia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku.
Piga star 444 hash utunukiwe credo double.
Maji mdosi wangu ametupa simu yangu ndani ya maji.
Mdosi wako kwa sawa? Venye Nkirota ameniambia ajui na akimpigia simu ashiki. Hi, guy, what
For the women who deserve more, Moped is now in Kenya and more than 40 countries. With its nylon-free surface, new Moped has unique softness and up to 100% protection. Your skin will love it.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more. Like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys.
Enjoy the magic of Christmas with Coca-Cola.
The county government of Kilifi, with approval of His Excellency the Governor, Honorable Amason Jeffa Kingi, has granted 100% waiver extension on all interest and penalty accrued on outstanding land rates and single business permit fees. Property owners in Kilifi County are advised to take advantage of the waiver period that starts from 1st December and ends on 31st December 2020, on condition that the principal rates and single business permit fees are paid in full. Property owners are advised to obtain invoices from the Sub-County Revenue Office where the property is located and make payment by depositing cash or banker's check to our bank account. Once the waiver period lapses, the county government will institute all necessary measures to recover any unpaid rates and penalties, including repossessing the property. Tulipe ushuru, tujenge Kilifi.
Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds.
Karibu, Mom. Let me take care of your hands.
Kwa sababu ni muhimu kutunza mikono ya mama, Omo ina chembe asili ya kutunza mikono ya mama anapofua. Omo, nguvu ya kutoa madoa sugu, kutunza mikono.
Honestly, babe, what is chai bila maziwa?
I know, darling. Like this lactose-free milk. Is it even real milk?
Why don't you ask the expert? Me! Gold Crown lactose-free milk is 100% natural cow's milk. The only difference is that the lactose in the milk has already been broken down, making it easier to digest. So no more funny feelings in the tummy.
Wow! And it tastes just like regular milk.
Because it is. And you've heard it from the cow's mouth.
What a relief. Thank you, Gold Crown.
If regular milk makes you feel uncomfortable, try Gold Crown lactose-free milk. Milk that loves you.
Mbio ya kudunda viwanjani sasa haraka upesi imekwisha kulia ni Joshua Makori. Harambee Stars wasiozidi umri wa miaka 17 almaarufu Emerging Stars iko jijini Kigali, Rwanda tayari kushiriki dimba la Sekafa. Kocha mkuu Oliver Page alisafiri na kikosi thabiti ambacho kinawajumuisha miongoni mwao James Gashago wa shule ya Moreland ya Uingereza na mlinda lango bora kabisa wa makala mwaka 2019 ya kipute cha Sekafa kwa walio chini ya umri wa miaka 15 Alvin Odari. Kenya iko katika kundi A pamoja na Sudan Kusini, Uganda na Ethiopia. Wenyeji Rwanda, Tanzania, Sudan na Djibouti wanaunda kundi la B. Makala mwaka huu yatafanyika kuanzia Disemba tarehe 12 na kuisha tarehe 22. Mshindi atafuzu moja kwa moja kwa dimba la taifa bingwa barani Afrika nchini Morocco mwaka ujao. Naye mlinda ngome mahiri Daudi Cheche Ochieng anapania kuisaidia Mathare United kunyakua taji la ligi kuu ya kandanda humu nchini msimu huu na kusitisha ukame wa miaka 12 iliyopita. Cheche mwenye umri wa miaka 28 alisajiliwa na Mathare United msimu huu baada ya kuondoka Al Ansari ya Saudi Arabia.
Hii msimu najua pia wachezaji wengi wako na ile hamaki ya kurudi kiwanjani na kucheza mpira, so najua itakuwa msimu mgumu kwa sababu kila timu pia wanataka kushinda this time.
Cheche, una tajriba kubwa katika kandanda, safari hii unaleta nini Mathare?
Naweza leta tu experience kidogo na kuna vijana wengi na kuwaonesha njia, kwa sababu pia mimi naamini ya kwamba kwa hizi safari kidogo nimepiga niko na experience kidogo naweza onesha ama kusaidia vijana wadogo hapa juu pia kesho tutakuwa na wacheche wengine wengi.
Ukiangalia huko Saudi Arabia imekuaje kule Al Ansari?
Pia ilikuwa lockdown pia tangu February lakini hao resume last month. Ilikuwa poa kwa sababu unaweza sema kwa kila safari ya mchezaji wa mtu yote kwa hii maisha lazima experience kitu kidogo, so nilienda huko, safari ilikuwa poa, nikarudi kurejea nyumbani. Hatuwezi jua kesho lakini mimi nashukuru Mungu.
Kiujumla matayarisho ndani ya corona yamekuaje katika Mathare?
Yamekuwa poa kwa sababu uzapata si watu wameanza mazoezi siku kama 4 zimepita. Kwa sababu ya government pia kwa imekubalisha watu kutrain na pia nyakati ilikuwa imekubalisha kidogo ingepata watu 4 5 wanapambana na as a team nafaa kuwa nyinyi wote mazoezini, but hizi kwa excuse kwa sababu team zote that zimekuwa zikitrain apart from maybe teams zimeanza kucheza CAF na hizi za nje.
Ukiangalia mwisho Mathare kunyakua taji la ligi kuu mwaka 2008 ni miaka kama 12. Safari hii
safari mpira huwezi jua, lakini naweza sema lazima uanze na game kadhaa ndo mjue, kwa sababu kama sasa hivi unaweza pata timu nyingine zishacheza game moja. After ushacheza game ya kwanza ya pili unaweza jua kama tuko vizuri ama tuko pabaya, turekebishe. Lakini mapema sana kusema kuhusu ligi, but naweza furahi sana kama tutazashinda ligi na Mathare United.
Katika anga ya mataifa ni kwamba ligi ya mabingwa barani Ulaya itaendelea leo usiku wakati Barcelona itaikaribisha Juventus katika pambano la kundi G uwanjani Camp Nou. Nahodha Lionel Messi atakutana na hasimu wake Cristiano Ronaldo kwa mara ya kwanza tangu Ronaldo kuihama Real Madrid na kujiunga na Juventus miaka 2 iliyopita. Juve na Barcelona tayari wamefuzu raundi ya 16 bora. Wakati huo Manchester United itakuwa mgeni wa RB Leipzig huko Red Bull Arena katika mechi ya kundi H. United inahitaji alama moja tu ili ifuzu awamu ya muondoano. Katika mechi nyingine ya kundi hilo Paris Saint-Germain itamenyana na Istanbul Basaksehir ugani Parc des Princes. Kwingineko Chelsea ambayo imeshasonga mbele itachuana na Krasnodar kwenye mechi ya kundi A ukipenda E nyumbani Stamford Bridge. Kuhusu ligi kuu ya Uingereza ni kwa Southampton ilinyuka Brighton mabao 2-1 ugenini Amex na kupanda hadi nafasi ya 5 kwenye jedwali. Pascal Gross aliweka Brighton kifua mbele kunako dakika 26 kwa njia ya penalty. Nick Vestergaard alikombolea Southampton dakika 45. Dan Ings alihakikishia The Saints ushindi dakika 81 kupitia mkwaju wa penalty ulioidhinishwa na VAR. Kutokana na ushindi huu Southampton ni ya 5 kwenye jedwali na alama 24. sana katika kuendea mafanikio. Kama hujaanza, usiote kukamilisha. Niite mwanaspoti niridhike zaidi, tutiane kwenye mboni tena hapo kesho. Kwa sasa Kaltun, ufunge.
Bila shaka tumefikia tamati ya taarifa za NTV jioni. Asante kwa wale wote wamfanikisha taarifa hizi. Mimi ni Kaltun Jama, mkalimani wetu wa lugha ya ishara jioni hii alikuwa ni Flora Atieno. Nakumbuka mtazamaji, tutakuwa tunaendelea na makala yetu ya Kusi Festival moja kwa moja kutoka kaunti ya Kisumu hapo kesho.
This is NTV.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
We deserve more girls. Nolly cash. Nolly cash. No, no, nolly cash. We need a big change in our lives. Do you think this is it, girls? No. No, no, no. No, no, no irritation. No, no, no. No, no, no irritation. We need a
For the women who deserve more, Moped is now in Kenya and more than 40 countries. With its nylon-free surface, new Moped has unique softness and up to 100% protection. Your skin will love it.
In Kenya, 1 in 2 children suffer from cavities. Brushing with Pepsodent removes bacteria and repairs tiny holes before they become cavities. Because every smile matters.
I wish I could have soft and glowing skin.
New Geisha Black Soap with activated charcoal to give you soft and glowing skin. New Geisha Black Soap and new Geisha Moringa.
Close-up deep action with antibacterial formula and deep cleaning gel keeps your teeth clean and protected. Close-up deep action. Enjoy long-lasting fresh breath and more. From far with you. I even gifted you a magnificent house. Rosa, it's the thought that counts. Please help me.
When it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Panadol Baby and Infant, tough on fever, gentle on your child.
Honestly, babe, what is chai bila maziwa?
I know, darling. Like this lactose-free milk. Is it even real milk?
Why don't you ask the expert, me? Gold Crown lactose-free milk is 100% natural cow's milk. The only difference is that the lactose in the milk has already been broken down, making it easier to digest. So no more funny feelings in the tummy.
Wow, and it tastes just like regular milk.
Because it is, and you've heard it from the cow's mouth.
What a relief. Thank you, Gold Crown.
If regular milk makes you feel uncomfortable, try Gold Crown lactose-free milk. Milk that loves you.
This is NTV.
Business Redefined in association with KCB Bank.
time for your weekly most comprehensive look at the world of business and economics. A warm and hearty welcome to another edition of Business Redefined. Tonight we are speaking about banking which is compliant with the provisions of the Sharia law. This is Islamic banking, unveils a lot of products in this market which many of us don't quite appreciate how they work, and we are privileged to have on set the head of Islamic banking at the KCB Group Kenya, that is Mr. Halkano Molu. Welcome on set, Mr. Halkano. And to kick off our conversation, many would be interested to understand, we have been talking about COVID-19 pretty much for the entire year. How have you seen this impact the Islamic banking arm of KCB?
Thank you for the opportunity, and to our viewers also. Yes, of course, the COVID-19 impact has really impacted the world economy as a whole, not only Kenya. And if you look at the world, of course, the impact has been felt, the trade has been affected, human life general has been affected. The other day, I was listening to a report on BBC reporting that the UN is saying next year, the people that will require assistance world over will have increased by 40% from what the current level is. So the impact really has been bad. It has really affected the economic setup world over, and we've also not been spared. We've not been spared. We know in our country also so many businesses have been affected. The hotel, the tourism sector are adversely much more affected than the rest of the sectors. And in the banking sectors also, I'm sure you have looked at or heard about the reports, the financial reports by that Q1, Q2, Havia, 2020, and also Q3. Many banks have reported huge drops in their profitability. Some, as I think, have gone down by more than 50%, others to the tune of 40%. So the impact really has been huge. For Islamic banking as well, you know, we all operate in the same environment, and the impact really has been adverse also. We've not been affected, although for some reason, in my case, in Islamic banking KCB, we've not seen a lot of loans going bad, but definitely we've had a lot of facility structure because of the impact of the COVID-19 impact, which has affected our customers.
Right, and Mr. Molu, there's a perception out here which I understand is wrong, and you'll be helping us clarify this, that Islamic banking products target the Muslim brothers and sisters. Clearly, it targets a wider net than that. Just walk us through this, please.
Generally, that is a misconception, and a very widely held misconception that Islamic banking products are only targeted to the Muslim community. This is not the case. It is open and is available to everybody. Across the KCB network, we have customers in Sahel banking, which is our Islamic banking window, or people of all faiths and gender. We have Muslims, majority of course are Muslims, and there are also Christians and people of other faith. There's no discrimination. So we welcome all the customers, and I'm also happy to report that the customers have also responded, irrespective of the faith they are in.
And one of the most often cited questions I get around Islamic banking is that we don't have interest in consideration here. So when we talk about the performance, for example, last year we know banks were celebrating when the cap on lending rates was repealed. For your side, how do you drive business then, given that you don't deal with interest?
Thanks. I think one thing that we need to understand is that the interest that the conventional banks charge is basically a pricing mechanism. So let me give you an example. You walk into a butchery, say one is owned by a non-Muslim who does not follow the Islamic Sharia in terms of slaughtering the animal, and next to him there is also a Muslim who's running a butchery. Both of these people could be selling their meat or their beef at the same price, say 400 shillings per kilogram. Okay, what the Muslim person would be looking for is, and what would determine to him whether the meat that he's going to buy is going to be halal or non-halal is not necessarily the price. The price actually does not determine the halal or non-halalness of that product. It's the underlying requirement of Sharia when you are slaughtering that bull or that cow so that you can get the beef out of it. So in this case, therefore, interest that we charge, that the market charges currently say 13% or thereabout, is just a price we pay for the services that we enjoy from the bank. So in Islamic banking, basically, yes, we don't charge interest in the way that we know that the conventional banks do, because conventional bank interest basically works on the principles of capitalization and compounding. That a debt of 100,000 shillings that you took today, possibly at the end of the year will have attracted interest, and that interest is added on the principal, so that the following year or the following period, your loan becomes, the principal becomes what you had started with, plus the interest that had been capitalized. So we don't capitalize in our case. So your loan will either remain the same or reduce because you are repaying it. Okay? So therefore, we use the same parameters or the same pricing mechanism that is in the market that we operate in of 13% currently, for example. But of course, the difference would also lie majorly in the contracts that we use. In Islamic banking, you know, in the conventional banking, the relationship between the bank and the customer is that of debtor-creditor. Okay. In our case, in Islamic banking, the relationship becomes of parties that are partnering into a business venture. And because of this partnership, therefore, there is the concept of what we call profit or loss sharing mechanism in Islamic banking, which is not there in the conventional banking. In the conventional banking, a loan you took becomes a liability to you, and you just have to pay it with interest. But in Islamic banking, based on, depending on the specific contract that we use, therefore, there is the opportunity that if a loss arises, the bank and the customer will share in those losses. And if there is profit that is to be shared, then the profits are also going to be shared.
Great point you're raising there. And how is the spectrum of the products you offer within the Islamic banking platform? Because, again, one of the challenges that exists out here is that people don't have the visibility of the variety of products which do exist.
Currently, what we are doing basically is to be able to offer nearly all the products that you'd be able to get in any given conventional bank. So we do have working capital finance, we do have mortgage finance, project finance, all sorts of products that you would be able to get. In terms of deposit also, we provide current account and savings account. We also provide investment account, which we call in conventional banking fixed deposit. So currently the only product that I think we are not able to offer, but we are just in the process of offering, is the equivalent of the conventional credit card. So say for the credit card, currently, we are able to give our customers all the products that are available on the conventional side of the bank.
Mr. Alkano, many would be curious to know, given the fact that interest is not within your purview, the charging of interest for that matter, how do you cater for risk and how it varies across clients? Because risk profiling is very critical when it comes to pricing.
Well, we basically just do what any other bank would do in terms of risk profiling. And the only risk factor that we normally look at, in addition to normal risk factors that you look at in any bank, would be Sharia and compliance risk. And therefore, we are able to look at our customers based on the risk associated with each customer, based on the normal parameters that any banker would use for any normal conventional product.
Mr. Molo, one of the challenges we've had in the recent past, if you look at KNBS numbers, there's been a significant economic downturn. CBK tells us that about 40% of the banking sector's loan book has already been reprofiled. What do you see as the way forward and how this impacts Islamic banking in particular?
Well, that is quite true. Yes, in my remarks before, I said that yes, banks have been adversely affected. There have been reports of dipping of profits compared to last year. And it is likely that many of the banks, if not all possibly, may not report any growth this year compared to a year-on-year growth. They will definitely have been impacted. We've also been impacted, although to a lesser extent, because we are still a new business. Generally, therefore, what is likely to happen is that a lot of loans will need to be restructured. And I think we've done this to a great extent. So far, KCB Kenya, as at Q3 this year, we've restructured loans to the tune of amounting to about 115 billion. And there may still be needs for customers coming forward and saying, yes, we've been impacted, and therefore we need to really ask the banks to give us a little bit more time in terms of moratoriums on the repayment of the facility. This is something that is likely also to continue into next year. hopefully the effect of COVID will get away sooner than later. But definitely this is something that we are always worried about.
Mr. Molu, given the specificities that we normally have within the Sharia or Islamic banking and how it's different from conventional banking, many would like to understand, do you list defaulters on the CRB?
Yes, we would list if you've defaulted willingly. You know, there are defaulters. I think we can basically say there are those that have defaulted because of factors beyond their control, and there are those who willingly refuse to pay. And what we do in our case in KCB, we give the customers actually 14 days. If you are in default, from the first day you default, we'll have to engage you within 14 days, get to know the reason why you've defaulted. If it's a genuine, excusable case, you have no factors beyond the customer's control, then we will not charge you any penalties, and we shall also list you. But if we can establish that your default is actually avoidable, or rather it was willful default, then we'll definitely have no alternative but to list you.
Mr. Mol, we should be heading for a break shortly, but let me just ask, we understand various sectors have been hit very differently by COVID-19. And when you look at your loan book and the disaggregation across the various categories you mentioned, whether it's asset finance, mortgage, where would you say the most adverse impact has been?
I think the most adverse has been in the hotel and tourism sector. We've also seen some impact in the commercial mortgage sector. Customers who normally rely on tenants to repay their facilities because people have lost their employment, people have lost their livelihood, businesses have gone down. So there's a bit of impact there also, but majorly on the hotel and tourism sector.
Right, and that point by Mr. Molu Halkano takes us to a short break. Business Redefined will be back with a lot more on the subject of Sharia-compliant banking.
Malkia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku.
Piga *444# utunukiwe Credo double.
To help fight the spread of coronavirus, learn Lifebuoy's hand washing habits. Wash hands with soap or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Together, let's help fight the spread of coronavirus in Kenya.
Go Ahead is believing to make each day a brighter day. The confidence to create opportunity. Going ahead is our courage to do something new. To go ahead. Now, that is the Kenyan spirit.
Together beautifully at GMC Place. Enjoy our succulent meals in a serene setting with a varied choice of fun games for the little ones. Cup it up with a cuppa or a cocktail, all available to your taste. Discover the joy of a warm pool by diving into the Blue Oasis heated pool. Or at GMC Place, the fun never ends. Make your reservation today on 0701 560 560.
When I cook Nutri for my family, I always use my 4-to-1 rule. To begin with, mix 1 cup of Nutri with 4 cups of cold water, and then you stir it and try and get a smooth consistency. Heat up your stove, then you pour your mixture into your pot or pan. Cook it for at least 5 to 8 minutes, and voila, you're done.
Nutri, every spoonful counts.
We are here today to pay our tribute to Dudu. Dudu was full of life. He bit, stung, and made people itch at his own will. He spread malaria with great pride. To the family, stay strong and believe that the larvae he has left behind will follow in his wings.
I heard he was killed by mosquito. His family does not know yet. I said he was killed by mosquito.
Mosquito kills mosquitoes, cockroaches, and all household insects.
Kufedi!
A product of Osho Chemical Industries.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more. Like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Enjoy the magic of Christmas with Coca-Cola.
Superior stain removal na mwosho moja just got more affordable na 10 bob too.
Kila siku unapokaza mshipi, unapozidi bidii, unapoongeza maarifa ya kuimarisha maisha, unapoongeza nguvu ya kukusongeza mbele, unaposherehekea na kuwakaribisha wengine kufurahia nawe, unapojijenga kibiashara na kuonyesha penzi lako, unga unaozaidisha uko papo hapo, kuzaidisha utamu wa maisha kwa kila namna, kila mara. Familia ya Ajab imeongezeka ili uzidishe mapishi. Mambo ni Ajab.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
You're watching Business Redefined in association with KCB Bank.
Welcome back to this edition of Business Redefined. Tonight we are discussing Islamic finance, focusing on the raft of products which are available in the market. And what you need to know as far as this segment of banking is concerned clearly has very distinct elements which differ with conventional banking. And we are privileged to have on set Mr. Molu Halkano, who is the head of Islamic banking at KCB Group. Mr. Molu, before the break, we went through a number of issues, and one sticking out issue as far as Islamic finance is concerned is how it appealed to various demographics. Granted, you would have more Muslim customers than any other, but when you look at the age profile, many would want to understand how is the uptake like across the various age profiles in the country.
Thank you. Generally, we avoid profiling our customers, but I think overall, the young generation basically tends to be a lot more receptive, while the older generations generally, people tend to have fixed mind that this was not meant for me, I'm not a Muslim. They are not very inquisitive. But the younger generations, when they hear about this, when they walk into our branches and they see the signage of Sahel banking, they tend to inquire, can I, as a non-Muslim, enjoy this product, and what are the benefits? So the young people, I think, generally are the ones that tend to take a lot more of the products that we are offering currently.
And Mr. Molo, one of the questions I get is that digital solutions have transformed the banking and formal financial services. If I was to adopt, for example, if I was to have a Sharia compliant product, would I be able to access just as many products on the digital side as I would in my conventional banking?
Yes, you would, but except for online or rather mobile lending, currently we are, because there are some strict Sharia requirement that you have to observe in terms of when you are giving out a loan. It's just not just money you are giving out. In Islamic financing, every aspect of loan that is given out must be tied either to a service provision or an acquisition of an asset. Now, online, there is a bit of challenge, but we are working on this, and hopefully we should be able to do online, mobile lending, hopefully from say half next year. So except for that, you should be able to enjoy all other array of services that you would on the conventional side from our side.
Mr. Molo, allow me to ask this question, and it might be a pretty ignorant question, but it's because when I was preparing for this, I asked for questions regarding Islamic banking, and many are not clear whether when they come for a Sharia-compliant loan facility, would they be required to have collateral, as is the case in conventional?
You know, collateral is generally requested for by the bank so that you basically try to ring-fence your risk or mitigate your risk of default. Yes, we also do therefore ask for collateral, but there are certain considerations which I think may not be there in the conventional banking. Yes, you could have defaulted, and therefore the bank ordinarily would just resort to this security if that becomes the only source of repaying of the loan. But in our case, I think there's a lot more consideration because we try to be equitable. There's a lot of equitable consideration between the bank and the customer. So there would be instances where if you took a facility and you are pledged a security, and we come to the realization of that security because it is the final fallback position for the bank, there would be considerations based on what I had said earlier of profit and loss sharing mechanism. So we'd look at this and say, yes, we've sold the security, the realized value is X. Now, based also depending on the contract that we've used, because there are certain specific contracts that we use which basically make the facility Sharia compliant, you may understand the chance of getting a share or into the process of that security. Yes, therefore we do take security so that people will also be a little bit more careful not to default, because they would lose the security. But even if this arises, then you look at the possibility of, yes, what is it that, how can we share into this loss that has occurred, and which has now made us just basically go back to the security realization.
Thanks for that clarification, sir. And a lot of questions around, for 3 years in this country, we had an interest rate regime where interest rates were capped, and many banks took flight to fixed income securities by the government. Given that Sharia-compliant banking does not advocate for interest, many are wondering, how did you survive those 3 years as the window that is compliant with Sharia laws in the country?
Yes, of course, we lack the money market instruments that the conventional banks have available to them. We can't invest in treasury bonds and treasury bills. Our hope is that going into the future, we may be able to come up with, or the government will facilitate the introductions of instruments like Islamic bonds, like Sukuk and the rest. So basically how we've survived is just because being a new business, there was still a lot of appetite for our facilities in terms of the loans that we are giving. So that is an impediment. And therefore is something that we as an industry will need to work on, so that Sharia compliant money market instrument bonds will be available. But for the time being, definitely that is an impediment, although it has not really affected us, because being a new business, we are still growing. Our loans intake is still quite high. But I think there may come a time when we definitely have to resort to try to come up with more product that may be money market based, and therefore we can invest in those products.
I like the point you raised there, because it actually is my next question. How soon do you think this market could see a Sukuk being issued? We've seen this in markets like Nigeria, and the uptake has been quite phenomenal. Granted, we have stark differences with those kind of markets. But when it comes to Kenya, market development, how soon do you think this will be seen?
You know, the talk has been on from about 2016. I think 2016, the Treasury and CPK came up with a project office, which basically was to come up with a regulatory framework for Islamic banking. And the intent then was that we would have a Sharia board at the national level, and then of course we'd be able to do Sukuks, etc. It's taken a bit long, and I know the conversation is still ongoing. The last time I was in this meeting of the committee was in 2019. I'm hoping that this will not take much longer, and possibly we may look to a year or two at the very latest. I think we should be able to have this instrument in place.
Great. And
yes, because the government have the will to be able to avail this or to get the infrastructure in place.
Mr. Molo, what do you see as the next frontier for growth for Islamic banking in this country?
I think what we need to do, the industry needs to do basically is to now have a regulatory framework. You remember I said Treasury in 2016 was trying to come up with this. Most of our customers tend to be a little bit suspicious. They say, the regulator is still CBK, interest-based. And therefore, these products, for them to be Sharia compliant, for them that is an issue. So I think what needs to be done now is that for CBK and Treasury to come up with a regulatory framework for Islamic banking, so that there will be a little bit more differentiation between Islamic banking and the conventional banking from regulatory point of view. Also, we will try to come up with more products. Not basically just trying to copy what is available on the conventional side in terms of investment products, sukuks, the Islamic bonds, and also the money market instruments. A lot more opportunities for us to grow the fintech, digital solutions for the customers. And therefore, there is a lot that we need to do. The industry of Islamic banking is still quite small. I think there is a lot of opportunity for growth going forward.
Mr. Molo, there are a lot of questions around the fact that conventional banking is now taking up the increased appetite for mobile credit, mobile loans being disbursed via cell phone devices. Is this a space you're playing in, or do you intend to play in, and how would you structure such a product?
Currently, we are not basically playing in the digital mobile lending. As I said earlier, that our products and services need to be tied to an asset or a service acquisition. And now in the mobile, this is a challenge, but we are looking forward to partnering with an entity possibly outside the country that is already facilitating some products for us, and see how we are going to do to enable our customers to take the facilities online. Therefore, what is required basically would be when you come for a loan of 20,000. You require money. You give out cash. In Islamic banking, there is no money on money. Money itself is not a tradable commodity. It is just a medium of exchange. What needs to be done, therefore, even in the cases where the customer just basically needs money for personal needs, is to try to bring in the aspect of trade into this. So mobile trading then is an avenue that we need to pursue. We are already working on that. Hopefully, I am hopeful that by half year next year, we should be able to have a product on mobile for customers wanting to borrow on mobile lending.
Okay. And my final question, Mr. Molo, what should we expect from the Islamic financing window of KCB Group in 2021? We know 2020 has been a very tough and unpredictable year for many businesses, if not all.
Thank you. We will continue trying to educate our customers, our staffs, and reaching more and more wider areas. We will come up with more innovative products. Product development is our key objective for next year, and also in the digital space. We are coming up hopefully by Q1 next year with an app, Sahal app on the KCB Vuba platform, so that most of our customers will be able to enjoy these services. We're also coming up with agency banking, which ensures that the funds also have to observe the strict requirement of not commingling with the conventional. So there will be strictly SAL standalone agency banking that we are going to roll out. So we will try to work on the areas of the digital banking, agency banking, as well as coming up with more innovative products, including Islamic Sharia compliant credit card.
Many, many thanks, Mr. Molo Halkano, who is the head of Islamic finance, banking, I should say, at KCB Group, giving us insights into how the landscape is looking at the national level, as well as being aggregated now at the KCB Group level. What products are we expecting? How soon are we likely to see a sukuk being issued in this market? Who knows? Time will tell, but definitely he has given us his thoughts over a period of about 1 or 2 years. That should be ready. Up next is the Markets Report.
Defined in association with KCB Bank.
It is our faith to start all over again. Our head is never giving up in the face of adversity. To go ahead. Now, that is the Kenyan spirit.